There are also beings like Nebokiro, the ram, who's like the essence of a sheep. Only it's not a cute and fuzzy sheep. It is... The cosmic horrors have no sex and no gender.
Oh, bother. I've got brains all over my club. Oh, Christopher Robin, I'm so sorry.
Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Son of a gun. How about that? It is a bright-ish day. There are clouds in the sky, and the sun is low, of course. It's morning time when I record. But there was blue sky when I went outside, even though it's chilly. Thumbs up for that. It has been this last year in the Pacific Northwest, the Shelton area where I live. It has been nice this past year. It went from being just horrific and hot like the rest of the world. We're in a microwave oven. But at the same time, it has been nice in this area. Still getting warm, way too warm, but it used to get up to here. This last year, it's only hit like here. So, climate, the entire world, but our local weather, not bad. Hopefully it'll stay that way. But yes, yay, it is a nice day, and hopefully you are having a great day too. Front-loading the videos, hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't, that'd be very awesome. If you could leave me a comment, I enjoy and read every comment. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people are, in fact, literally beautiful and literally awesome. I am on a very limited income. I broke myself back in 2003, and I have been disabled ever since. Without these people's help, I would be doomed. Thank you, each and every one of you. I thank you. My pets thank you. It is very good. If you'd like to become a patron, in the show more video description, the link is there, so thumbs up on that. Hey, front loading of videos over. Yay! So today and last night, again, just because my med is not helping me, up here I have stopped taking guanfacine entirely. It's just not helping me with my ADHD. In fact, the only thing that seems to happen is it brings my blood pressure down, and then I fall asleep in the afternoon. Yay? So I stopped taking it, gonna call my med manager today, let them know, and then when I have my next appointment, which is like the 13th, we'll discuss the options again. I mean, it may be that there's nothing that I can ever take. But the options, there are still options. It may be that I'm forever doomed. It might not. So we shall have to see. Yay. But past that, I am surviving. I went on my walkies last night. It was very good. I've done things here, both today and not. That little black spider up there still seems to be actually alive. I don't think she has died, so that's very, very cool. She must be eating or drinking something. So thumbs up on that. But past that, it has just been a day. I mean, yesterday I played games, I listened to music, I did what I could, then I went walkies and came back, and so first half of, not even the first half, the first part of my day, from like when I wake up till noon, is slow-ish, doesn't speed by too quickly, but then from noon until 6 it zooms, and then from 6 onward it's just, there's no slowing it down. I mean, from 6 o'clock onward, I can't plan on doing anything because I'm out, like, preparing to go walkies, going walkies, recovering from walkies, and then going to bed. So, yeah. But still trying my best to do things as creatively as possible. Still trying to do things. I'm still changing up my bookcases here. I still want to get this done, but oh joy, I have untreated ADHD again. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get to it. That's good. I actually did some D100 dungeon the other day, and that was good. Just one room. Went through and re-walked through the dungeons that I'd already mapped. No fights this time. Actually found some gold in the room that the Ratman champion had went and wiped me out in before. So this time, hey, Tamakton is actually getting along well. And as soon as I have some good stories, I'm going to tell you all about what's going on with Tamakton again. But past that, yeah, not much. Still trying to be as creative as possible. And of course, I want to talk about this real quick too. This room here, unfortunately, the building has radiant heating, which means there is heating in the floor. So when you're downstairs, heat radiates from the ceiling, and when you're up here, heat radiates from the floor. And we can't seem to ever turn that off. So right now, it is hot as heck in here, because the floor is warm. So joy. I'm going to have to talk to my housemates again. Maybe we're just going to have to unplug the entire furnace system again. Joy. Because right now I got the fan outside, and pretty soon I'm going to have to put the fan in the window and such, because it's just getting too frickin' warm because of the radiant heating in the floor. Yay. Past that, though, I have been, as stated, trying to be as creative as possible, thinking about this, that, and the other, and that's a good thing. Going back and thinking about my various cosmic horrors, going through and thinking about how to advance the whole inside-outside razor's edge project, because yeah, I'm still working on that. Just because my ADHD is untreated doesn't mean that project is dead. No, it's just slowed down. I can't work on it as efficiently as I could, but it's still going. I'm still going to get it together. I'm still going to write it up as best I can. So that's not dead. But past that, I mean, it's just, I'm going out on walkies, and I will talk about this though real quick. While I was out on walkies, I was not paying attention to where I was going last night. And so when it was dark, I suddenly noticed dark-ish. I suddenly noticed there was movement down on the ground, and I looked down, and like 3 feet away from me was one of these bunnies that was just sitting there and eating grass. Now, we have wild bunnies here periodically. You know, I walked and found like a whole squad of bunnies eating stuff, and then they scatter and then move when I get close. This time, because I didn't even notice it, it wasn't even treating me as a predator. And so I made sure, as soon as I became aware of it, I looked away and then just kind of arced my body differently and then kept walking. Because when you turn your predator eyes, front-facing eyes, focusing on an herbivore or such like that, they know, they see. I have had enough just anecdotal stuff, though, where I can say where I have been walking by a creature and then just turned my eyes, and they're watching, and as soon as my eyes turned in focus, they took off. They're watching us. They know we're here. And so when my predator eyes move, they take off. So I made sure not to do that, and then just kept walking, got half a block away before I turned and looked back at the bunny. And it was still sitting there and just doing its little bunny stuff, and that was really cool. And then I was walking along the railroad tracks, and about 20 feet in front of me, more than that, 20 feet really doesn't look very far at all when it's on the ground, so it must have been closer to 50 or 60 feet. There was a whole bunch of deer on the railroad tracks, so I just quickly stopped, looked around, and then took off through a field to get to the road, because even though I have walked past deer in the past, so close I could have reached out and touched them had I felt the desire to do so, I don't want to freak them out. They don't need to worry about me. They don't need predator eyes focusing on them. So as soon as I saw them, yeah, I took off. I inconvenienced myself so that I wouldn't freak out the deer. And I felt good about that. It was definitely a thumbs up. I like being just a part of the web of life, and it is good. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Also, as just a real quick, I was reading on Facebook this morning. I am friends with a Facebook person where I have learned a lot about myself by reading what's going on in their life. And one of the things that they, who are on the autism spectrum, talking about, and I've seen this from a lot of people, is just not liking to be touched. The only person that I have ever enjoyed being touched by just randomly was my wife, and she did the things for me without knowing that I was autistic and without my knowing. So she did the things that I couldn't do to leave me to do the things that I could, giving me the support that I needed to actually be a complete and full human being. Let's try to remember what on earth I was talking about now. I have forgotten. Oh, I love ADHD. So there was a story, and I was talking about it, but I can remember what I was saying. You know, she provided me with the support, and I can't remember even why. It was just pulled out of my head as I was talking about it. This is why I hate ADHD. This is why I hate what happens to me. It hurts when that stuff gets pulled out of my head like that. And it just happened. That didn't happen while I was on Ritalin. Now it's back to just being a normal occurrence. So, let me talk about this instead, since I have completely lost what the actual point was. Thank you for watching this video. It is greatly appreciated, each and every one of you that watches this far. I know it's not many of you, but for those of you who do, thank you so very much, especially for putting up with my untreated ADHD. But some of the things that I wanted to talk about here before I forget, because I've written them down so these ones I can actually remember. I talked about how you can view Tamikanoso, the cosmic horror that runs. They look like, as close as our eyes and brains can approximate, it would be like a gigantic dire wolf. There are also beings like Nebokiro, the ram, who's like the essence of a sheep. Only it's not a cute and fuzzy sheep. It is... The cosmic horrors have no sex and no gender. They are truly neutral beings. They will not be able to reproduce in any way, shape, or form. They have no male, in between, female, no gender, no nothing. They just are. So they're stuck in this fashion. So looking down here again, Nebokiro, the ram. Just because he looks like a male sheep does not mean it is a male sheep. They just have the gigantic horns. They are fluffy, but again, this is not a being that looks cute. This is a being that looks like the essence of, I will protect. I will break you if you try to hurt us. That sort of thing. But even at that, Nebokiro, the ram, whose horns can destroy universes with one blow, even this being, like all of the cosmic horrors, they do not hate the multiverse or the universes or the people within them. Although they are so far away from what we are and what we know, they effectively are evil just because they look upon us as, at best, we would be single-celled organisms in the ground. And do you think about single-celled organisms when you go dig a hole to plant a tree? No, you just dig it up. You're killing a bunch of stuff. You're disrupting the life cycles of everything that you just dug up. Do we care? No. Neither do they. But they don't hate the multiverse. They don't hate all of this. This is their home. They love the multiverse. And Nebokiro, just as Tamikanoso runs to be in the moment, Nebokiro, what they like to do to live in the moment is when they find a good world closer to the singularity that powers this multiverse, and they just sink their hooves into the rich soil of this world, and they listen to the sound of the breeze and the sound of the rustling grasses, and they feel the breeze in their wool, and they smell the air, and they feel the sun, and they just be. And they are happy that way, just being in this, losing themselves in the sheer joy of existence. But of course, again, they're so far above us, even just scratching an itch might have ramifications for us on this level that aren't good. And of course, let me take a look down here, make sure that I've got it all. Yes, once again, on the whole, they don't hate. Even Tamikanoso, when they go running and they're eating everyone in a world, again, it's not because they hate the Gokura, us, the numberless, the endless prey. They don't. We're just something to eat. They have to eat. The pack has to eat. We are a part of a physical universe. If you live, you need energy, which means you need to eat. And the best food for these things is things with intelligence. That quantum knotting Either you can directly access the quantum knotting, or if you can't, you eat the meat of the being, because that quantum knotting, the field, infuses the meat. And if you can't get the nutrition directly from the quantum knotting, well, you get the nutrition from the energy-infused meat. And it's good that way. So they don't hate, which is why if you can prove that you can run with the pack, if you can prove that you can survive with the pack, if you can show the pack that you can keep up with them, it doesn't matter if everyone else in your world is being eaten around you. If you show that you can do it, you're part of the pack. They will accept you. Tamakanoso will shower you with gifts just like the rest of the pack. Just because you're Gokura does not mean that you are hated. It's just that we are so small in comparison. They love the multiverse. And in fact, if the cosmic horrors could see this one universe of the inside, they would not look upon this as, oh ho ho, how can we rampage? But especially those like Erogots, who is trying their best to catalog the multiverse. They would look upon this thing and just go, oh my God, that is beautiful. Now, their needs for it may not line up with our lives and values, but they would look upon that with joy and just, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Gonna go through and thank however many people, ain't many, who have left me comments in the past 24 hours. That's fine, because anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you so much. And if I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, even though I don't have many people, I still get lost occasionally. So we have Jesse Koskinen. I really like the game Dusk. It is freaking awesome. Except for the 3rd level. The 3rd episode, and we're coming up on that one. John DKC, thumbs up and thank you. Hunter Thompson, greatly appreciated, and yeah, I know the feeling. Ben B, greatly appreciated. Hey, child murder is hysterical. JYY, thumbs up and thank you. We have Larry from Space, who I haven't seen for a while, but thumbs up. Ice Damon, greatly appreciated, and that is it. 7 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only in text and if only for a short time. Thumbs up and thank you. Yay! Well, hokey smokes. Of course, real quick, if you could toss me a like, maybe subscribe to the channel, that'd be very awesome. I'm still trying to shake things up, and I need to find a new form and shape for this all yet. I'm trying to melt it all and then make it into something new, so we shall see. I got a lot of stuff to do today. I got to run around town on errands this morning. Yay! I've got stuff that I want to do in the house here. I still want to empty this out. I got phone calls that I want to make. I just got stuff that I want to do. So hopefully I can get that done. And if I can't, life is life. And hopefully the things that you want to get done, you can get done. If you can't, don't beat yourself up. That does not help. And it will not help you get it done better the next time. You're only going to make yourself feel bad for no good reason. So don't beat yourself up. Hey. And of course, we're not over the pandemic. No matter what people say, just because people are tired of taking precautions so they don't get sick and die, doesn't mean if the bug comes around, you won't get sick and die. Treat this like the disease that it is that is still running rampant. Yes, it is on the downside. We're still having occasional spikes. Be smart, be careful. Get vaxxed, get boosted. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, he said, banging his hand against the arm of his chair. And that is, in fact, a very good thing. I mean, honestly, really, it is. Thumbs up for that.